Let me ask you a question, my friend. If your salary isn't enough, is the salary to blame or the system? Today, we're going to answer that question. Most people who build real wealth share one thing in common. At some point in their lives, they built an extra source of income. Because saving on a single paycheck is like carrying water in a leaky bucket. A side income is a second tap flowing into that bucket. In this video, I'll give you 10 side hustle ideas. One for every age. But don't expect an ordinary list. Think of it like a game. There are 4 levels, and each level has its own target. From a 13-year-old student to a 50-year-old adult, everyone will find their place on this map. You'll start with small skills. Then you'll grow those skills and become more valuable. And by the end of this video, whatever your age, you'll have a plan you can start tomorrow. If you are ready, let's begin with level 1. Level 1. Ages 13 to 16. At this age, your target is $50 to $150 a month in extra income. That number might look small to you, but the real goal of this level isn't money. The real goal is to try, to fail, and to learn. At this age, you have very little to lose. You have no capital, but you have plenty of time. And time is the most valuable card in this game. First idea, start a small service-based business. Let me give you a real example. Picture a 14-year-old kid. He starts out washing cars in his neighborhood. His only capital is a bucket, a sponge, and some sweat. He charges a small fee per car. He gives a discount for the second car. A customer tells his neighbor about him. And that's how a little neighborhood business is born. Today, the same logic can be scaled even further. You can buy a pressure washer at an affordable price. With it, you can wash not just cars, but driveways, balconies, even storefronts. A few jobs pay off the machine itself. Everything after that is almost pure profit. And here's the first lesson. Sell your labor first, then buy tools with what you earn. A tool is leverage that multiplies your effort. Second idea. Small trade wherever there's demand. One of that kid's customers tips him with a huge box of chocolate. The kid doesn't eat the chocolates. The next day, he sells them at school. Because at school, the demand for sweets never dies. A student in the United Kingdom grew this business so big, he reached £50,000 a year. Eventually, the school shut it down, but the lessons stand. Wherever there's demand, there's money. And you can take it one step further. You can have your friends sell for you on commission. For every item they sell, you give them a small cut. At 14, you learn how to manage a team. That lesson will earn you more than any salary ever will. One small warning, check your school's rules first. Third idea, refereeing sports or assisting a coach on weekends. School days are for selling, weekends are for the field. Local leagues and school tournaments always need young referees. You get paid per game, you stay fit, and you learn to make decisions fast. And you learn to stay calm under pressure thanks to the fans yelling at you. Those 3 skills will serve you for the rest of your life. Here's the summary of level 1. Start cheap, try a lot, and don't fear mistakes. Now we move to level 2. Level 2, ages 16 to 18. At this age, your target is $250 to $400 a month. By now, you roughly know what you enjoy. The goal of this level is to go deep into what you love. Fourth idea, tutoring. The tutoring market is always alive. Hourly rates vary by skill, but even a good high school student can earn around $20 an hour. If you're good at math, teach math. If your English is strong, coach English. But what if you're not great at school? Here's a door most people overlook. Teaching doesn't only mean school subjects. Everyone has something they can teach. If you play the guitar, teach guitar. If you're a master at video games, offer coaching. If you can fly a drone, teach that. It may sound strange, but people pay for anything they want to learn. And add this subtle trick. A tutor's income is limited by their hours, so find something extra to sell alongside the lesson. You can sell your study notes as digital files. You can run a small subscription group where you answer questions. The goal is always the same. Move from selling hours to selling products. Fifth idea. Online product brokering, dropshipping. Let me explain it briefly. You advertise a product. When an order comes in, the manufacturer ships it directly to the customer. You never touch the product. Now, let's be honest. This business will not make you a millionaire. The competition is brutal and the margins are razor thin. And never give your money to the so-called gurus selling courses. So why is it on the list? Because this business is like a cheap business school. You learn how to run ads. You learn how to talk to customers. You learn pricing, handling returns, and analyzing competitors. The money you make may be small, but the skills you gain are big. And those skills will turn into money at the next level. Sixth idea, starting your own content channel. A phone and an internet connection are enough. You learn to shoot, to edit, and to connect with an audience. In the first year, you probably won't make money, but you'll gain the most valuable skill of the digital world, capturing attention. Here's the summary of level 2. Pick your skill, go deep, and slowly stop selling hours. Now we come to level 3. Level 3. Ages 18 to 29. At this age, your target is $800 to $1,200 a month in extra income. The rules of the game have changed now, because from 18 on, you can direct your earnings into investments. Let me show you a simple calculation. Imagine putting $250 a month consistently into a low-cost index fund at an average 7% annual return. By age 65, you're looking at over $1 million. And that's just one slice of your side income. It never touches your daily life. This is the true power of a side hustle. You earn to invest, not to spend. 7th idea. Turn your skill into a service and sell it to businesses. If you did dropshipping when you were younger, you can now sell social media marketing. Thousands of small businesses are invisible on the internet. The butcher, the cafe, the barber, the real estate agent. They all need customers, but none of them speak digital. You can fill that gap. And here's the smartest way to land your first client. Offer to work for free for a few weeks. Boost their sales visibly. Then when you ask for payment, saying no becomes very hard. Even if they say no, you'll have a proven result in your hands. You show that result to the next business. A service that pays for itself always sells easily. 8th idea. Turning creative skills professional. If you shot videos as a teenager, you can now shoot weddings. Let me give you a real example. Picture a teacher in Australia. He teaches on weekdays and shoots wedding photos on weekends. And every weekend of next year is already booked. Wedding season is a gold mine for a photographer. Graphic design, audio editing, and building websites all work with the same logic. 9th idea. House hacking, turning your home into income. It's one of the fastest ways to grow your net worth in your 20s. The logic is this. You buy a house with 2 units, you live in one. You rent out the other, the incoming rent covers most of your mortgage payment. In other words, your tenant pays for your house. If you watched my 2 Paths video, you'll remember this story. The young man who bought a 2-unit building at 27 did exactly this. When the mortgage ends, you're left with a free house. And since you pay no rent, that money goes into investments too. 3 birds with 1 stone. Shelter, savings, and an asset. Here's the summary of level 3. Sell your skill at a premium, invest what you earn, and buy your first asset. And now, the boss level. Level 4, age 30 and beyond. At this age, your target is $1,500 to $3,000 a month in extra income. But at this level, the rules change once more, because now you're after something more valuable than money, time. At this age, your side income should be passive, not active, meaning it should work even while you sleep. Before we get to the final ideas, let's make one thing clear. The money and skills you built in earlier levels are the capital of this one. The bigger 9th idea, rental real estate. Let me tell you another true story. A man buys his first rental home. The place is falling apart. Everything needs repair. He has no money for contractors, so he learns the work himself. He teaches himself painting and tiling by watching videos online. In 6 weeks, he gets the house ready to rent. That house still pays him a passive income to this day. When you're starting out, doing the work yourself is sometimes the most profitable way. Then, as you earn more, you hand the work to professionals. 10th idea, turning your knowledge into a product. By 30, whether you realize it or not, you've built a treasure of knowledge. Your profession, your hobby, your experience, all of it is valuable to someone. From carpentry to fitness, from cooking to starting a business, there's a coaching market for everything. But there's one critical rule here. Work one-to-many, not one-to-one. One-on-one coaching is still selling hours. Instead, build a digital product. A course, a guide, a video series. You create it once, you sell it 1,000 times. Or you start a channel that shares your knowledge for free. As the channel grows, the income follows on its own. Here's the summary of level 4. Stop selling your time entirely. Sell assets and products. Now look at the big picture, my friend. When you've passed all 4 levels, what do you have? A massive set of skills. Rental properties, digital products, and a growing investment portfolio. That's the point where you cross the critical threshold. Your side income overtakes your salary. You no longer work for your money works for you. This is exactly what the truly wealthy have known and done for years. But what if you're over 30 or 40 and just getting started? Don't mistake these levels for an age ladder. The levels are about skill, not age. You can start at level 1 at 50. You'll just move faster because your life experience is already there. What matters is taking one step from wherever you stand today. Now I'm giving you a single task. After this video, ask yourself this question. Which level am I at and which idea fits me? Write your answer on a piece of paper. And this week, take the first small step for that idea. Find your first customer, post your first listing, shoot your first video. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be started. Remember, a side income isn't a luxury, it's insurance. And the best day to build that insurance is today. If you've watched this far, you've already taken the first step. See you soon, my dear viewer.